Is it in her video? It's been corroborated that that house specifically belonged to associates of Mr. Cepeda who continue to harass Mr. Parada. He's made multiple reports. And we're just asking for the court to consider that in making its determination. We understand that the jury has made their decision and he just wants to move forward with his life. And again, making positive steps for himself and his family. And he knows that he carries that with him and is going to carry that with him for the rest of his life, Judge. He's just asking for the court to give him an opportunity and continue them with 5 years of probation.
Your Honor, if I could just briefly respond. The only thing I want to respond to is the part about the drive-by shooting. That
Enjoy the video, hit the like button.
State of Texas versus Jose Parada. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Marcus Sanders.
For the defense?
Guillermo Lara for Mr. Parada, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Parada? Yes. All right, we have an interpreter here. To the interpreter, if you could raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm you will faithfully translate from English into Spanish and Spanish into English, so help you God?
I do, Your Honor.
You can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Mariana Rios.
All right, we are here for sentencing. A jury found Mr. Parada guilty of the charge of manslaughter on September 19th. The jury ordered that his punishment be assessed at 10 years in the prison, that there be no fine, and that they're requesting that he be placed on community supervision. And of course, the court will follow the jury's verdict, which is for Mr. Parada to be placed on community supervision. However, the court did order a PSI, so the court could make appropriate conditions for probation for Mr. Parada. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report, state?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Judge.
Any objections to the PSI report, state?
None from the state.
Defense?
Judge, only on page 9, the third paragraph, beginning, I just need the court to, and then there's a word there, confine in me. I believe they.
I'm sorry, where are you speaking of, counsel?
It's paragraph 3 on page 9 at the top, Your Honor.
Yes.
Towards the end of that paragraph. I just need the court to confine in me. It's just a typo. It's confide in me, but I just wanted to bring that to the court's attention.
All right, thank you.
That was it, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, state, do you have any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Defense, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right, state, anything you wish to say on behalf of suggested conditions for Mr. Parada?
As far as conditions, no, Your Honor, other than the length of supervision, we would be asking for the maximum for 10 years. You heard the facts of this case. This is a situation where
Voice up.
where Mr. Parada put himself in the situation that he had many opportunities to avoid this scenario. He brought a gun into the situation, caused the death of an individual who was trying to get away from him. The jury obviously felt that he was wrong in his actions because not only did they find him guilty, but they assessed the maximum prison sentence. And so we're asking that you match that and do a 10-year supervision period also.
All right, defense?
Yes, Judge. Judge, I believe there's a misstatement of what the jury actually wanted. I mean, whatever the jury wanted, specifically with respect to the term, I think they were confused with what they were asking this court when we received the question, but I guess that's beyond what we're here for. Judge, we're asking the court to grant Mr. Parada 5 years probation. And the reason why we believe that that's appropriate is he is not a menace to our community. He clearly works hard for his family, as well as abiding by and making sure that he follows all rules. The court has had no issues with him whatsoever on release at this point, Judge. He's always reported. He's always been at court. And he's the type of man that's going to follow through with his word. He works for his family, he works for himself, and he wants to make sure that the court knows that as far as this situation is concerned, he understands, and if he could take it back, he would. He said that clearly in the PSR as well. If he could go back, he wouldn't follow this individual. If he can go back in time, but he understands that that's not possible. And he's trying to live his life at this point in a positive direction, knowing that it still affects him daily. It affects his family daily. And as we've noted, Your Honor, There have been multiple drive-bys to his house at the location, and when it was asked in the punishment phase for Mr. Parada with respect to how does he know that that location is associated with Michael Cepeda? Well, Your Honor, the individual, Sabrina Espinosa in this case, would frequent that location where that car would drive to when it would go and discharge the firearm at Mr. Parada's home. It's in her video. Not only is it in her video, it's been corroborated that that house specifically belonged to associates of Mr. Cepeda who continue to harass Mr. Parada. He's made multiple reports. And we're just asking for the court to consider that in making its determination. We understand that the jury has made their decision and he just wants to move forward with his life. And again, making positive steps for himself and his family. And he knows that he carries that with him and is going to carry that with him for the rest of his life, Judge. He's just asking for the court to give him an opportunity and continue him with 5 years of probation.
Your Honor, if I could just
Yes.
briefly respond. The only thing I want to respond to is the part about the drive-by shooting that keeps coming up. Mr. Parada had multiple opportunities to talk about that on direct, and I even crossed him on it. He couldn't tell the jury or the court how he associated that with Michael Cepeda. The whole purpose of that was somehow to fling mud at the victim even after his death. There was no video of Sabrina admitted into evidence. Counsel was testifying, and Judge, I don't think that should be something that you factor into your consideration when deciding what his probation term should be.
Judge, if I may respond, it's not mudslinging, Judge. These are facts. And they're not something that I would make up. I'm not going to be disingenuous to the court as to a fact that exists. It's not something that I would do. It goes to my character. And Judge, I can assure the court that I would not mislead the court on that issue.
Okay. Is there anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Parada, is there anything you wish to say to the court? Let me have you raise your hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you
Before God.
can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
José Parada,
José Parada.
All right, what would you like to say?
que me den una oportunidad
That you give me a chance
para sacar mi familia, porque yo soy el que sustento mi familia.
to be able to get my family ahead because I'm the one that supports my family.
A todas las tengo en el colegio, pero yo he trabajado arduamente
I have them all in school and I have worked very hard.
y es lo que quiero yo. Y
That's what I want today.
All right, any questions?
No,
Vince?
no.
State? All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to follow the jury's request that the defendant be placed on probation. Court will follow the jury's request that there be no fine assessed, so the court will sentence you to a $0 fine, 10 years in the prison, suspended and probated for 8 years, proof of employment within 15 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care with minors, regular reporting, regular UAs, 200 hours of community service restitution. 40 of those hours will be waived if you provide proof of the COVID vaccination. Court is not requiring you to get the COVID vaccination, but if you do, 40 of those hours will be waived. There's to be field visits 1 time per month for 3 months. We'll see how that goes probation. If everything is fine with the field visits within 3 months, then you can suspend the field visits. And I'm going to add anger management course. Probation, is there anything else that he needs?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Parada, is there anything else you need from the court in order to be successful in this probation?
tengo confianza en mí porque yo nunca.
That you trust me because I have never, that's all.
All right. Ms. Parada, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes,
And did you sign it?
yes,
All right, because this was a jury trial, you do have a right to appeal. Do you understand?
yes,
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand?
Sí.
yes.
All right. Is there any victim impact?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Parada, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank
You're welcome.